Welcome to the Victory Project podcast, undoing hopelessness with a godly purpose, love, and accountability. Since 2009, we've believed it's less about what we do and more about what we undo through education, entrepreneurship, and enlightenment. You're here because you believe a city on a hill cannot be hidden. Let's shine that light. Let's build victory together.
Welcome to the Victory Project podcast. My name is Monnie Bush, founder and CEO of the Victory Project. And this is a special podcast for lots of reasons. And we'll go into that in just a moment. But we have welcome back Kayden. Kayden has been here for multiple podcasts. He's got a fan club. We have to T-shirts, bumper stickers.
Know about this?
Yeah, I'm not telling you because we're keeping the money. We're keeping the money. Yeah, it's helping us raise funds. So thank you for Kayden.
Yeah, you're welcome.
How's your day been?
It's been really well. Great.
Good. Excellent. How's school started off for you?
Started off late, but and good.
Yeah. What's your favorite course in school? Would you say not lunch? Besides lunch.
Okay.
Not that.
Okay. Don't like the teacher, but it's science.
Okay.
Yeah.
Science. That's cool. And what grade are you in right now?
Eighth
grade, man. You're doing awesome things. So, and God's using you for big stuff. So thanks for being here again. And we have two new faces here today. And these are guys that have been a part of Victory Project for a little while now. And they said, we want to join the podcast and we want to bring our interest and our ideas to share with folks. And we're excited to have you. Next to Kayden is Douglas. Douglas, welcome to the podcast.
I'm glad to be here, man.
Man, thanks for stepping up. It's extra work, but hopefully you'll have a great time.
I'm planning on it, man.
Good. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, how old are you?
I'm 17.
17. And what grade are you in?
I'm in my senior year, which is 12th grade.
Awesome, man. How has school started off for you? The senior year is a big year.
It started off kind of fast. The days went by super quick, but
yep.
It's kind of slowing down now. I'm getting the hang of everything, and
yeah,
I like it so far.
I think if I go, a million years ago, but I think senior year that's not that funny. If a million years ago, right? It was a long time ago. The senior year does go fast. It really will. You guys will look back and be like, I can't believe school's done. So I'm excited to have
you. Are you sure you remember?
I do. I saw a lot of pictures, saw some videos that helped me remember.
Oh,
Thank you, Kayden.
Okay.
But yeah, it's going to be a fast year for you, Douglas.
I'm excited for it.
Excellent, man. And then we also have Antonio. Antonio, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So how old are you?
14.
14. And what grade are you in?
Ninth, so I'm a freshman.
Freshman. Now that's probably the slowest year for you. So it gets faster. So how's your year starting off so far?
It's going pretty good. I'm liking all the new things that I'm learning.
Yeah. And would you say your favorite class is in school?
Algebra 1, for sure.
Algebra.
Yeah.
So you like math?
Yeah.
So I didn't ask you, Doug, what's your favorite class?
I would have to say my math class as well, but it's consumer math. So
really?
It's basically like your overtime pay, your straight time pay, and stuff like that.
That's a good thing to learn.
So it teaches you how to calculate your paychecks each time you get them.
Yeah, I like that. It's awesome. Welcome, guys, to the podcast. I'm glad you guys are here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So for the folks that just first time listening, we spent about 30 minutes discussing how God's blessed Victory Project over the years, highlighting the incredible young men that we get a chance to work alongside, all the different volunteers and supporters we have. And so it's really fun to kind of highlight that. We need some good news in the world. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, we need some more. So today's episode, we're going to talk about one of the courses that Victory Project is unique to Victory Project, and it covers a lot of the things that helps young men understand what's it mean to be a man of God. Because there's a lot of things out there to steer you the wrong way, bad influences, bad examples, whether that's in the media or sometimes our friends or family members. So it'd be kind of fun to walk through the class, talk about what we teach, and maybe the things that that you guys remember in your experience so far. So the class is called the OG series. Now, before Victory Project, what did OG mean to you guys? If somebody said OG, what would you say, Douglas?
Original gangster.
Original gangster. You agree, Antonio?
I would just say original. Yeah.
Original?
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
What about you, Kayden?
Original.
Original? So we said, you know what? That's something that is out in society. How can we make that something that draws guys to Victory Project and makes them think differently? So to Victory Project, OG stands for Overall Gentleman, Strong Minded Men of God. And that's tougher than the gangster, I promise you. So we're going to go through that class a little bit and maybe talk about some of the classes you guys have been exposed to through the OG series. When we think about the OG series, Kayden's been here for a while now, so he's experienced way more of the OG classes than you guys have. But one of the things we do is called the Style and Hygiene class. And there is stations set up around a Victory Project. And we have a lot of our volunteers and staff will be manning these stations. And each station will teach you guys or expose you guys to unique things about, being a good young man. And those include ironing, ties, how to tie a tie, right? I think you guys have done a little bit of that. Shoe shining, cologne. We also do shaving tips because as you get older, you know how to take care of your face and your skin and your beard. And there's different skin has different way of shaving. My skin is different than Kayden's skin and the other guy's skin. It's very different. Has different products to use and different ways of shaving. And then the last one, which is the class I like teaching, is style tips. And Kayden probably is the best one, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't got no style.
What? That's not good. That's going to be edited out for sure.
Oh.
So style tips on basically how to take 2 or 3 outfits and make, 10 outfits out of it. So you can have a few things that you buy and you can use them over and over again and still have clothes for work, clothes to go out with and look nice. So that is the style and hygiene courses. So I know you guys haven't been a part of many of those yet, but Kayden, if you think, which one would you say stood out the most to you?
I would have to say the cologne.
Okay.
I like smells a lot. I like smelling good, and they had a whole bunch of different type of colognes over there. So it was really cool to spray them on a little tab and smell them.
Uh-huh.
I almost wanted to take one of them, but he would have let
Who taught your class?
Mr. Josh Jones.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. Yeah, he would know. He's a pretty stylish guy.
I'm still arguing about that today. I'm trying to get it still.
Do you remember, did they have you smell something in between your cologne to clear your palate, as they say? You remember that?
I smell coffee grinds or coffee
That's
beans
it.
or something.
Coffee grounds. Check this out. So to supposedly cleanse your palate. So you spray some cologne on, of course, or you put on a little tab and you smell it. If you don't clear your palate, that's going to stay in your nasal cavity. So smelling coffee grounds helps clear it. So the next one, you can smell more of what this smells. Is that kind of different?
I thought he was trying to say you could use that as a cologne or something.
Oh,
I didn't know.
Now, you guys maybe haven't been through the style and hygiene, but any of those classes sound familiar to you? Have you been exposed to any of those?
I've been exposed to tying ties, which Mr. Keyshawn actually taught me how to because I didn't really know. I thought I did, but I didn't. Now, every Sunday, I go to church wearing a suit.
Really? That's awesome.
Every single Sunday.
Sunday.
Don't miss a Sunday.
Yeah, you guys go to church together, right?
Yes, we
sir.
do.
That's great. And you wear a suit.
Oh, yeah.
That's stylish, man. That's good.
And
Gotta
then
look
he
good.
runs in a suit afterwards. Who does that?
Yeah, that's awesome. And do you actually tie it every time or do you keep it tied? So,
I keep tying it every time so I can learn. So
Yeah, it's smart.
It gets better each time.
that's smart, really smart. Tonio, have you done any of these yet?
Yeah, with Mr. Keyshawn. And it was the same, I think it was the same day when he had taught Douglas how to tie a tie. He had taught me too. And it was really cool. I haven't used it yet because I haven't really needed a tie anywhere I've been so far. But yeah, I'm planning on using it in the future.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to know those things. And, ties are, not a lot of people wear ties anymore, but I mean, it just that tie makes it stand out. It looks sharp. So I'm glad you guys are wearing it. Kate, how about you? Do you, I know you said cologne, but do you use cologne?
Yes.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And do you remember you put on a certain amount and where you put it and things like that?
Well, I know it's the neck, the wrist, and one down the middle.
There you go. Man, you guys got it. You guys are ahead of 90% of men today. Guys
Yeah.
my age even don't know that. That's awesome. So that's just a small example of like style and hygiene and what taught at Victory Project. I think another part of being a young man in today's society is learning how to share the gospel with people. How do you talk about how God's impacted your life in a way that connects with people? So we're going to talk about that a little bit. And I'll start with you again, Kayden. You've been exposed to the gospel through Victory Project. And then can you have any life experiences where you've had a chance to either talk about the gospel or show people the gospel?
Actually, I have two. One is with just me, and one was with Doug. I'll let Doug share that one if you want. But the first one, I had a special work day, I guess. Like I didn't have to do no lawnmower or nothing. All I had to do was talk about Victory Project. So we was setting up, me and Miss Kim and Mr. Bear were setting up the tent so we could pass out the flyers and stuff for Victory Project. And there was this guy. He wasn't doing nothing. He was just on his phone and charging another one. So it was me and a couple other peers. We walked up to him and we started talking to him about God. And he ended up getting saved right there, which was a great
Yeah.
story to tell.
Yeah, that's incredible. And how did you start the conversation off?
I said, "Excuse me, sir. First, I needed to make sure I was allowed to be in his area. So I
Okay.
said, may I please come over and talk to you? He said, yeah, sure. And then I said, do you know God? And he was like, I mean, a little bit, but I haven't been to church and this and that. And I'm like, that's good. Well, would you like to talk about him? He was like, yeah, I got a little bit of time. So we just started talking. And I said, are you saved? He was like, no, I haven't been able to get to a church. So I said, all right. And then we just started going off a list of how I got saved. And
Man, that's something that a lot of Christians are afraid to do, because they're afraid to offend somebody or they don't have the courage. So that's inspiring.
oh no, I was scared. Really, I was really scared. That's why I wasn't going up there by myself. You got to
Yeah.
know your surroundings. So
Smart. Somebody that has courage is being afraid, but is still doing it anyways. That's courage, right? If you're afraid and you don't do anything, you're just a person of fear. But you're really courageous to do that. So you said Douglas was part of another one?
yes, well, it started off with just me and Doug kind of led this lady to Christ. She was crying one day. I was on a bike ride and she was crying, and Doug knows the rest. I want to let him speak
Yeah,
too.
you remember?
So.
You know what he's talking about?
Yeah, there was this woman. She just was going through a breakup. She was bawling her eyes out, not being able to see her kid and all this other stuff. And I ran back to the house, or Kayden ran back to the house, came to me and said that there was a woman out there crying and her boyfriend just kicked her out the car and all this other stuff. So I was like, okay. I grabbed a gospel track for Dayton Baptist Church and brought it down there. We talked to her and kept trying to talk to her, asked her if she was saved and are you sure if you're going to heaven or hell? Like, are you 100% sure you're going to heaven? And we just kept talking to her about it. And eventually she never showed up at the church, but
Yeah.
let's hope she got saved somehow.
Yeah.
So.
And when she was, as you guys were talking to her, what was her demeanor? Obviously, she was initially upset.
She was still like upset. She kept breaking down here and there in between our conversation. But
Like, it was that, like, you'll start crying and then you'll try to bring it back in, but then someone will say something that will make you start crying again. That type of.
Yeah. So I'll ask you the same question. Where'd that courage come from to be able to walk up to somebody?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know. I'm trying to get better at like public speaking, which is another reason why I'm on the podcast, because I'm not really good at it and I want to be able to share the gospel with others. It was hard, yeah, but it was worth it in the end.
Yeah. Again, that's so impressive. How many people were just driving by while that was happening?
I wasn't.
There was a lot of cars driving by.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I guarantee you, maybe 100 people drove by. Like, oh, that poor lady up there's crying. I'm going on with. I got more important things to do. So that's awesome. You guys that's in your heart to be caring for people.
Also, me and my pastor, we also go soul winning. I haven't been able to for a little bit because I just started working here at the Victory Project. But we normally went out like every other Saturday, and we would go out soul winning and passing out flyers for our church.
That's great, man. That is awesome. Keep doing that. Keep going. Antonio, you have any situations where either you've had a chance to share the gospel, and if not verbally, like how else have you shared the gospel? Because it's not always just through words.
I haven't had like really any way for me to share the gospel to anyone, but Doug, he's like convinced me to come to church on Sundays, and so I'm going to start going to church on Sundays. And because before I never really thought about going to church for some reason, it was never really crossed my mind.
Yeah,
But Doug really convinced me to. So yeah,
that's great.
He was supposed to come last week, but he had a 5-hour appointment because of that hair. So
That's a long appointment.
It's not
It-
made
it
of
was
2
gold.
minutes away, by the way. 2
It was-
minutes.
it was a whole bunch of people there. So like it was.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you may not always feel like you're sharing the gospel, but I can't remember the guy's name, but there was a saint back in the old days, and he would say, always share the gospel, and when necessary, speak. What's that mean to you guys? Always share the gospel, and when necessary, speak.
Actually, I feel like kind of what Doug does, like even passing out flyers or leaving at a cashier table or something like that. But you're not verbally saying anything. But then if you come upon somebody who you think you can help, then speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's my perspective.
What do you guys think? What's that say to you guys?
Well, I would say, yeah, it's kind of like that, like handing out the flyers, just leave them at the door if they don't answer. But if someone like answered that door, then you actually have to speak to them and
Yeah.
don't just sit there and be nervous. Actually say it.
Yeah. I think too is the Latin phrase we have hanging in our two buildings, which says acta non verba, which is actions, not words. So just how you live your life. If you say you're a Christian and they're watching your life, and if your life doesn't line up with what they understand what a Christian should be doing, that's not a very good testimony. But if they see you going out of your way to help people or doing things other people won't do, that starts to draw people towards that, because people want to see action. Because a lot of people will just talk about things, but just doing little things, acts of kindness that we do at Victory Project or helping people out, that really is speaking the gospel too. So you guys, you probably do that more than you think, especially. Yeah. So the next segment want to talk a little bit about this summer, because you guys came in a few months ago now, and a lot of things happen in the summertime. And I'll start with you, Antonio. When you think about the summer experience you had at Victory Project, what's some of the things you did this summer?
I remember that a judge had came in. It was like the middle of summer, and he was going over like our like the first, second, third, like the amendments and stuff. Yeah. And I also remember it was a police officer, and he was sort of doing the same thing, but in more of he was saying it in more of like a civilian's perspective.
Okay.
So it was like easier to understand that second time go around.
Yeah. So that class is our how to interact with police, and that's followed up with understanding your rights. And I don't know if you knew that, but the police officer there was 2 police officers there, I believe, that taught that class. Do you know both those guys are alumni of Victory Project?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was really
One
cool.
of them was actually on the podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Jerome. That's right. So those guys were sitting where you guys were at one time at VP. They're learning about what's it mean to be a man of God. And now they're out in the community making a real difference with people. So it's cool you got a chance to experience that. Any other things that come to mind for you for the summer?
It was a math teacher, and he had came in, and it was stuff that I wasn't really remembering from last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like right next to me going over some of the questions, basically reteaching me it. And that was probably my favorite class of the summer. Yeah.
Really? Math?
Yeah.
The math camp?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Douglas, what about some of the classes you remember from the summer?
I remember the history class the most.
Okay.
Because the history class, I already knew a good amount about it, but it was stuff that people really don't talk about anymore. It's like the Civil Wars, the Pilgrims moving, and the Native American movement. Or we don't really talk about that in school. We more so talk about like World War I, World War II, and stuff that happens in between that time frame.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's. I remember seeing some of those classes being taught, like the Oregon Trail. I forgot about that.
I like that one.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? About the expansion and everything.
I went home and played that game, the Oregon Trail game, on my computer.
That's an old game too. That's a good one. Any other classes you remember from the summer, or trips or anything like that?
I remember our trip to Camp Chautauqua. That was my first time camping in a log cabin or wooden
Yeah.
cabin with a bunch of other people. I mean, the nights were rough, but water fights and everything. We had a lot of fun, though.
Yeah.
The zip lining part was pretty cool because that was my first time zip lining. It was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah. That's a fun place to go. Would you agree, Antonio?
Yeah, that was my first time ziplining, and I was pretty scared. It took me like 10 minutes to actually get off of the platform. Everyone kept yelling my name like, come on, let's go. Like, trying to hype me up.
You did say 1, 2, 3, go, and I went. We were supposed to go together.
Yeah.
And you stayed.
Yep. My hands were all sweaty. My heart was pumping fast. But yeah.
That's cool. I'm glad you got a chance to do that. It's fun. Camping's great. And Kayden, what do you remember from the summer?
I remember a lot of stuff, but one of my favorite classes was the history class. We had Mr. Harold. He came in and what was it? He was dressed up like George Washington.
Yes, he did.
And
Yeah, the wig, everything. He came in.
I didn't know what to think of it, but it ended up being very fun.
Yeah.
And then he also taught a science class with like how color and stuff works with different dyes and
Okay.
celery, and it went on a whole different.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah. Well, if just sitting here listening to you guys, if you looked at like friends that are not a part of VP, what were some of the things they were doing this summer, good or bad? What would you say? No, maybe not even friends, people you know.
Well, one of my best friends, he is incarcerated right now for something stupid he did, which I wish he wouldn't have done it because I was hoping we could hang out over the summer and, try to change what we've been doing to a different path, but
Yeah.
he messed it up. So.
Yeah. And we'll be praying for him too. Anything else, you guys? Because I'll tell you why I'm asking this after you guys share a little bit more.
I mean, I try to put myself around only VP members because I know those are we all know the one and only God. And I mean, most of my friends outside of school, outside of VP, I would say they're not bad because nobody's bad. They make bad choices.
Yeah.
So like, it's just like if they would have known who God was, or I feel like they would have switched up real quick. It's that type of
Yeah. But you, Antonio, you got any friends or associates that were doing something other than what you guys were doing this summer?
I know for sure that a whole lot of like friends and family members were for sure like playing the game all summer, just sitting at home in their beds, doing stuff like that instead of like working on the weekends, getting closer to God and things like the things that we do at VP.
Yeah. Those are two great examples because really three with Kayden's example is you got guys that are like really messing up, like Douglas was sharing. You got guys that are just isolating themselves or being isolated by sitting on the video game all day. And those are equally unhealthy for a young person and for anybody because you're not growing your mind, you're not growing spiritually. And being enemy wants us to be isolated, right? He wants us to be cut off from people like Kayden's talking about trying to be around the same people that's going to encourage you and challenge you in a positive way. And the fact that you guys come to Victory Project voluntarily is really incredible. You guys are incredible young men because you don't have to be here, but you're choosing to be here. So that's really impressive. And that's one of the reasons we have this podcast is because more people need to know about guys like you and guys that are out there that want a better life, and they need to connect with Christians to find God's purpose for them.
And of course, that doesn't mean right when you become a Christian, you're perfect because nobody's perfect. We all have our struggles, but that does mean that you're closer to the one and only God. You've always been closer to him. You just don't know it until you've not seen it, but believe it.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. So before we close here, because you imagine that 30 minutes went fast, right?
Yeah.
So before we close, I'm going to ask you each to answer this question. I'll start with you, Antonio. So if there's a guy out there that's listening who's, a young teenager, and he's interested in joining Victory Project, what advice would you give him?
Don't be intimidated by just the thought of being around a bunch of like teenagers that are 9 times out of 10 going to be older than you. Just because like you're just now getting into Victory Project and it's probably going to be like juniors or maybe even seniors in Victory Project. Don't be intimidated by that and just like get out there and get into it.
Yeah. That's good. That's good advice. And for you, Douglas, what would you tell somebody who's interested in volunteering? What should they do, and what kind of impact do they make here at VP?
I'm gonna be honest. Most of the teachers and volunteers we have that come in, I like to sit down and talk to most of them because they got some like pretty cool stuff to learn about. Like Tuesday night, we had this dude from MSD. He told me a really cool construction story, and he talks about all these other places he's been that nobody gets to see anymore. Like, actually got to go over the summer. That was another thing we did. We went to the airport and got to see inside one of the hangars, how they're built, and like what they look like afterwards.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. So if somebody's thinking about becoming a volunteer, you'd say like to do it.
Just strive to do it.
Yeah, come and do it. I agree, because a lot of people have good things to share, like through our career exploration classes and things like that.
And we'll love you. That's a promise.
Well, thank you guys for your insights. Thank you, Antonio, for being here, and you did great.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Douglas, outstanding examples and things you shared with us. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me as well, man.
Yeah. Kayden, always great. Always have something important to say. So thank you for helping lead a new group of guys in here.
Thank you.
And for those that are listening, if you want to follow more and learn more about Victory Project, you can go to our website, victoryproject.org, where you can find tons of information. And we'd love to have you come down and meet these young men and get involved. Until then, God bless.
Thanks for listening to the Victory Project podcast. If you believe in changing lives through faith, discipline, and opportunity, then you're in the right place. Keep showing up. Keep being the light. Until next time, remember, victory isn't just a destination. It's a way of life. Learn more at victoryproject.org.